guys, welcome to episode 42 of the WWE 2009 TEW2013 Let's Play. You join us for NXT and SmackDown, as this NXT episode is pretty much dedicated to booking one match at Wrestlemania, but it does have 6 segments dedicated to making it hopefully all come together and put everyone in the best position possible for that match. Today's show is going to be booked in, we just go and quickly double check, it's in the TD Garden in New England, which is in Boston, Massachusetts. Hopefully we have a decent show, but I say it's more so for booking one match, and that match will be confirmed during the match as we have a match graphic for it, and just hopefully sets up for where we want to go, basically with the NXT brand. So without further ado guys, we'll kick on with NXT, we'll get that show over and done with, and then we'll kick on with Friday Night SmackDown. Enjoy! So we start off, Wade Barrett is in the back and he's with the other members of the Nexus. Today lads, this is all about the final opportunity. If we want to stand tall, we have to win at WrestleMania. We've got to weaken the opposition. So tonight, make a statement and take them all out. Let's do this for the bigger picture. So it's Wade Barrett, Sami Zayn, Kevin Steen and Seth Rollins all together, and they are ready to make an impact this evening. C+66. Paul Heyman was apparently there, although it was mostly just to promote Wade Barrett. The We Unite storyline continues, and good to see they're getting a C+66, considering they're all mid-card, upper mid-card level at the moment. And about it features some great action, but not much in the way of heat. Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins defeated Shelton Benjamin and MVP in 10:46, when Seth Rollins defeated MVP by pinfall with a Phoenix Splash. Out of most people, I'd say Seth Rollins probably needed the win most, and a B-74 certainly reflects that. Both teams had great chemistry, which I was quite surprised at, as this was just 2 random pairings, 2 members of the Nexus, and just 2 random oppositions to fight them. The We Unite storyline continues. Unfortunately, no skill improvements, and negatives here, mostly for Daniel Bryan, but a lot for just inconsistency and various other stuff like holding back slightly, as it was not on pay-per-view. Our next match, and about it featured great action and average heat. R-Truth defeated Wade Barrett in 7:42 by pinfall with a scissors kick, getting another win over Barrett for a B-75, so a small improvement on the last match. Paul Heyman did some good work at ringside. As always, great connection between him and Barrett. The We Unite storyline continues, and there were no skill improvements, so overall I'm fairly pleased with that. Only one negative for R-Truth. Wade Barrett already has a stale character. Hopefully we can keep this character up until WrestleMania. We then get a graphic confirming at WrestleMania we shall see Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, R-Truth, Shelton Benjamin all team up to face the team of Wade Barrett, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Kevin Steen, the Nexus. So they're getting their WrestleMania bow way before they did in real life. C64, just the usual things for Wade Barrett, no other skill improvements, and negatives here just for the low momentum or drink and drugs habits. Our main event match, and a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat. The Hardy Boys defeated Sami Zayn and Kevin Steen in 13:09 when Jeff Hardy defeated Sami Zayn by Twist of Fate and then the Swanton Bomb combination. B-74, another decent match, both teams again with excellent chemistry. Announcing quality wasn't up to the match, but the We Unite storyline does continue. Matt Hardy is improving Rumble skills. Overall, pretty decent match considering Jeff Hardy's drug habits and everybody holding back as well. After the match, Rollins and Barrett join their Nexus teammates in the ring and begin to do a beatdown of the Hardys. The 4-on-2 assault is led by Heyman cheering from ringside. R-Truth and Shelton try to run into the ring and make the save, but the numbers game continues and it results in the Nexus destroying them, and then they leave still standing. We are one. So the Nexus takes out the first 2, takes out the next 2, and they're standing at the end of the show despite not having the greatest time in some of the matches. This was only a C-56 due to their overness, but good performances from Paul Heyman and Wade Barrett again. The performance of Matt Hardy was good. Jeff Hardy underperformed, which is disappointing. It continues the storyline between all 8 guys. Matt Hardy's learning more charisma, and your usual negatives of low momentum and drugs habit. In the end, this sees a C+71, where the only negative was that we used Sami Zayn far too much. So you have it, that's it all set up. The Nexus versus the WWE, as I'm going to call it. Really hoping these guys deliver, and hopefully, I think you've got a feeling where I'm going to go with the match, but hopefully, it does have a good match and we can elevate the future talent. But that's it for NXT. We'll be right back with SmackDown. Here we are, guys, with the SmackDown portion of the show. Of course, with this SmackDown, and then we're on to the go home week before WrestleMania. So this one has a massive return, and we've got a contract signing, and just generally a good show that hopefully puts together some feuds towards the last week. After it, we'll go into the pre-booking, and we'll have a look to see who is actually going towards WrestleMania and who will be fighting. I do plan to use people that are not in the card in the pre-show in a Battle Royal-like situation. I believe it was Yoshitatsu that won this in real life in a Battle Royal. So we'll do something similar, and Yoshitatsu probably won't win. But here we go. It is Friday Night SmackDown. We start the show with an Undertaker promo. Next Sunday, two men walk into a battle zone which I call my yard, and at WrestleMania, a battle zone where no one has defeated me. 17 men have tried, 17 men have failed. This time, I am the man who steps forward. This time the man I'm facing who's stepping forward likes to talk. We'll see how much he likes to talk once he's been silenced for good. Highlighting, of course, that it's Chris Jericho, the #1 contender. Both of us walk down a path. However, I shall walk down a path no one else chooses, and I shall draw strength from the spirit of the dead. And even though there's a championship at stake, you should worry about a belt. You shouldn't be worrying about a belt, sorry. You should worry about me punching a 6-inch hole into your chest. So Chris Jericho, you shouldn't be afraid. You should be terrified. So Undertaker, highlighting that he's not only going to retain his title, but he's going to beat the shit out of Chris Jericho at WrestleMania and go 18-0. This continues the Taker's title storyline. No skill improvements, and just low morale affects this opening segment, which was rather good. Our opening contest in a match that had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Shad Gaspard defeated David Hart Smith in 7:31 by pinfall with an STO. C+69, Natalia doing some good work at ringside, obviously continues the tag team storyline. Shad improving performance skills, and the dirt sheet has negatives for both gentlemen holding back, and the chemistry of David Hart Smith's motivation. Our second match in a bout that featured great action and a good crowd. Dolph Ziggler defeated John Morrison in 11:48 by pinfall with a zigzag. This delivered a B-74. Good chemistry between these guys. It continues the Money in the Bank situation in the storyline there. I've had to reduce the entrance from 8 to 6 because apparently I can't do an 8-man match in this, so I just went with 6-man. There are no skill improvements to comment upon, and negatives here are just really for inconsistency, length, and holding back. In a bout that featured great action and a good crowd, Kevin Steen and Edge defeated Christian and R-Truth in 12:53 when Edge defeated R-Truth by pinfall with a spear, following interference from Sami Zayn. This puts two storylines forward, the Reunite storyline and the You Think You Know Me, and also good work there from Matt Striker and Joy Styles. This got us a B82 rating, which is absolutely fantastic, especially when we've got the likes of Kevin Steen, who's a mid-carder. And Christian improved his Rumble skills, whilst Edge improved flying and performance. Overall, very few negatives here, and that can only benefit the likes of Kevin Steen and R-Truth who were in this matchup. Our next bout that featured great action and average heat, CM Punk defeated Jimmy Wang Yang in 6:50 by pinfall with a Pepsi Plunge. Still managed to get a B80, considering it was Wang Yang who's a jobber. Can't argue with that, only negative is just low morale, so it easily could have been even higher, but a good matchup between these two. After the match, CM Punk grabs a microphone and continues to beat down Jimmy Wang Yang. So this is what happens when you don't abide by straight edge rules. When you drink and take substances, just say no. This message is so much stronger than take your vitamins and say your prayers. This is straight. Punk gets interrupted as Real American plays, so I put in there, holy fuck, the crowd goes mental, and it's Hulk Hogan who makes the save. He walks to the ring, because he can't run because he's old now, walks in and points at CM Punk. Punk goes to hit Hogan, but Hogan blocks it and nails him with some rights before throwing him off the ropes to land the big boot. He finishes Punk off with the leg drop. He checks on Jimmy Wang Yang before he starts posing to the crowd with his taunt. Now this only got a B-72 because probably Jimmy Wang Yang was in it, but he had to obviously be saved and it was a segment based on overness. Hogan debuts the Hulkamania gimmick, 89 rating. Obviously Wang Yang didn't come out looking good, but Punk and Hogan did. And the straight edge and the prayer storyline has continued. No skill improvements. Actually a lot of negatives here, more so than positives, but at the end of the day, Hogan versus Punk, holy shit. Next up, in a match that featured great action and great heat from the audience, Wade Barrett and Chris Jericho defeated Jeff Hardy and The Undertaker in 1729, when Wade Barrett defeated Jeff Hardy by pinfall after Paul Heyman interfered. B81, very happy with that, considering Wade Barrett was in it. Paul Heyman did some good work at ringside, the usual good pairings of Heyman and Barrett and Styles and Matt Striker, and both the We Unite and the Taker's title storylines advance with this matchup. The Undertaker, Chris Jericho and Jeff Hardy all improve performance skills, while Chris Jericho also improves his flying skills. The dirt sheet, all negatives there for the likes of Wade Barrett on stale character, both Jeff and Jeff Hardy for drinking, Jeff also for drugs, and Undertaker for low morale, plus everyone holding back slightly. Then the show we have a contract signing for a match between Randy Orton and Batista, hosted by Teddy Long. Both men come to the ring and sit down, no problem. So, yet to see a problem between them yet. No fighting or that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have before me the contract to make this match official. Before we do that, do you gentlemen have any last words? Randy Orton says, of course. But make this short and sweet, Batista. You got your nose in my business, and I will make you pay for that. Just remember, who won a world title between us first? Batista says, well, if that's what you're bringing up, Randy, who main evented the WrestleMania first and who also won a title that night? Next Sunday, I'll beat the respect out of you and show the world that this is Batista's year, and no one, not even you, will stop me. Both men stand up and quickly sign the contract. Batista flips the table and Orton goes for an RKO. Batista reverses it, which causes Orton to scamper from the ring and retreat up the aisle. So, it's a contract signing. Something was obviously going to happen. Orton tries to get the advantage on Batista. Batista manages to block it. So B+84 continues the Viper and the Animal storyline. And negative say we're just Batista and Teddy Long's low morale. Overall, an average 82 show. Not amazing, not great, but you know, it was more so making sense out of storylines and whatnot. So I'm happy with that as the WrestleMania card gets closer and closer to being put together. Let's see, so the vast majority were happy with the show. The email will just tell us that NXT was a 043, but we'll run down some of the card for WrestleMania. So obviously next week is Raw and SmackDown and NXT, and then we have WrestleMania. But the card so far is Christian versus Edge, CM Punk versus Hulk Hogan, Primetime, The Legacy, The Hart Dynasty and the Colognes for the Tag Team Championships. Money in the Bank will feature Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Kane, The Miz, Kofi Kingston and John Morrison. We've got Randy Orton versus Batista. We've got Chris Jericho versus The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. We've got Triple H versus John Cena versus Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship. We have the WWE The Nexus, which is Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, R-Truth, Shelton Benjamin against Wade Barrett, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins and Kevin Steen. And of course, we've got Brock versus The Rock. So what a card we have, basically, for WrestleMania, plus we'll have a Battle Royal. If there's time, you know what time constraints are like, you know what Vince is like. But I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can finish the Go Home show with a bang. So cheers for tuning in to this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. It's deeply appreciated, guys, as always. Any comments on TW in general, or just to save? You're looking forward to WrestleMania? What match do you think will get the highest rating? What match do you think could surprise us? Let me know, etc, etc. And of course, the internet is subbed. Hit that sub button. We're closing in on 600. Can we get there before WrestleMania? It remains to be seen, but all your support is always deeply appreciated. This is 21 Maxwell. Keep it tight.